Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. Hundreds of New Hampshire's young adults, including college students, have weighed in on New Hampshire's quality of life in a survey by New Hampshire's Stay Work Play organization that is in the business of persuading them to stay in New Hampshire to work and play. News 9 reported on this in April. We're going to drill down on it now for the next few minutes. Now, here's the first graphic. New Hampshire Quality of Life Survey, online survey of 417 New Hampshire residents ages 20 to 40, January of 2023. The perception of New Hampshire quality of life diminishes for those in their mid-20s throughout early 30s, but rebounds during the late 30s. A survey was conducted by the St. Anselm College Survey Center. Stay Work Play. With me to walk through this key parts of the survey in detail are Sheila Vargas Torres, the Vice Chair of Stay Work Play New Hampshire, and Jacqueline Leary, a member of the Manchester Young Professionals Group and Vice Chair of the McLean Middleton Law Firm, Family Law Practice. Welcome to you both.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you for having us.
What particularly surprised either one of you on this survey? Sheila?
Yeah, so thank you so much for having us and for highlighting the survey today. I would say, as someone who was raised in New Hampshire, went to college in New Hampshire, there wasn't specifically anything that surprised me. I think that the disappointment of individuals in mid to late or early 30s with the quality of life in New Hampshire is pretty on par with what I've heard as someone who's in her early 30s.
Jacqueline? Young professional.
Yes, so from the young professional perspective, I'm on the board of the Manchester Young Professionals, and I wasn't really shocked, same as you, by these results. And these are things that we've been talking about with our colleagues, such as affordable housing, child care initiatives. And I think that we did hit all of the good things, you know, our beautiful environment, where we are in our location to everything.
Well, let's go to that, because here's the first survey result, and let's put it up on the screen. And this is probably the most positive part of the survey. Environment, 83%, safety, 78%, taxes, 64%, community, 60%. Not surprising that these are still New Hampshire's strengths.
No.
Right?
No, not surprising. No.
Okay. Now, there's this question, the survey, and let's go to the next graphic. The survey, New Hampshire is worse or about the same as other places to live for following traits. Schools, and you can see the numbers. School, healthcare, colleges, affordable housing, diversity, childcare, transportation, and 90%. Responses appear to be based more on the word worse than about the same. Do you think?
I do agree that it is saying worse, but I don't see it that way. I see this as an opportunity for growth. We now have specific guidance from this survey of areas that we need to work on. These are where businesses can focus, where the State House can focus. I think this is a real growth opportunity for New Hampshire.
Same as Sheila?
I would agree. As a board member of Stay Work Play New Hampshire, all of our policy pillars really align with what we've heard in this survey: affordable childcare, affordable housing, diversity and culture. So while these are seen as areas of negativity or improvement, as I agree with Jacqueline, there's so much opportunity here. As someone who boomeranged back to New Hampshire, I came back because it's a small state where you can easily build community and improve it.
Let's go to the next survey result, and here it is. New Hampshire is worse or about the same as other places to live for the following traits: retail, restaurants, culture, social life, and nightlife, and you can see the numbers. Sheila, on that one.
I can't agree more. I would say, again, just areas for opportunity for us and just coming together to find solutions.
Yeah, I think nightlife in particular rankles some younger folks, younger than you guys, in fact. Now, the final survey result we want to show is New Hampshire is marginally better than other places to live for the quality of jobs and career opportunities. New Hampshire is better at 42%, New Hampshire is worse at 35%, New Hampshire is about the same at 23%. That ought to be concerning to some New Hampshire businesses, do you think?
I think it is a little concerning, but again, we need to focus on the positives here. I think this gives the businesses an opportunity to focus on their young professionals. And maybe if they're not going to bring them in terms of salary, they can do affordable housing and help out with initiatives there, help with the relocation costs, childcare, and they can also encourage them to be more involved with some of the young professional organizations to develop that community.
Jacqueline Leary. who is with the McLean Middleton Law Firm, but also Manchester Young Professionals, and Sheila Vargas Torres, Vice Chair of Stay Work Play New Hampshire. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you missed part of this survey briefing, you can go to WMUR.com, where it'll be posted all this week.